Passing against a good defense in EA Sports College Football 25 can be tough. Corners readily contest throws, while safeties lie in wait to blow up plays, and linebackers lurk, positioned to intercept an errant throw. If you want to give yourself the best chance to hit open receivers and avoid these perils, it helps to know in advance what the defense will do. That's where reading defensive coverages comes in. While there are many ways to disguise coverage and manual adjustments that you can make on defense to change things up, we are going to focus on the most common defensive coverages that you will see. Here are 6 types of pass coverages to look out for when you are passing, how you can recognize them, and weaknesses you can exploit. There are 2 main types of pass coverage. Man coverage is like backyard football. Everyone is in charge of covering one player. Throwing against man coverage generally means fast-breaking routes to create space, or if you have a speed advantage, letting your receiver or tight end simply outrun the defender. In zone coverage, a defender is in charge of an area of the field rather than a specific player. Most of the time, the number of deep zones determines what the coverage is called. Cover 1 has 1 deep zone, cover 2 has 2 deep zones, and so on. The goal against zone is to throw the ball into the gaps between the zones, or run routes to pull a defender to one edge of the zone and attack the space that is created. It's worth noting that these reads are based on typical offensive formations. If you run something more exotic, like flexbone, the defense may line up in unusual ways. With that in mind, here are some things to look for to identify which defense you're looking at. We start by looking at the safeties, the defenders who are furthest back in the middle of the defense. If there are no deep safeties, meaning everyone is within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, then you are likely looking at cover 0. Cover 0 is pure man coverage. There are no zones, no one defending deep. Your pass catchers are all going to be in one-on-one coverage, and everyone is probably coming at your quarterback with ill intentions. Against 0 coverage, you need to get the ball out quick. That means you should either hit a slant, or, if you have a good deep threat, send them on a streak and throw a high lob leading them downfield. A single high safety means you are most likely looking at cover 1 or cover 3. If the corners are playing close to the line of scrimmage, then it is almost certainly cover 1. If they are playing off, you can send someone in motion to see if the person covering them follows, which indicates that they are in man coverage. If they aren't followed, you're probably looking at cover 3. Cover 1 has 1 deep zone, and the rest of the defensive backs are in man coverage. Against cover 1, you will want to focus on the one-on-one matchups near the sideline or across the shallow middle of the field. That's a great opportunity to run a drag route for safe yardage, or take a shot on a corner route for a big gain. If you have cover 3, then that means the entire field is divided into zones, with a deep portion split into thirds. That can leave a big cushion near your receivers for curls or flat routes, and the area near the hash marks, called seams, open for vertical routes, especially if you throw corner routes or streaks to a good tight end. Two deep safeties means you are probably looking at a variation of cover 2 or cover 4. If the corners are playing within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, then you are likely looking at a type of cover 2. If the corners are further back, then it's probably cover 4. In cover 2, the 2 safeties split the field in half, with each covering 1 deep section. There are 2 versions of this. In standard cover 2, the rest of the field is also divided into zones. In cover 2 man, only the 2 safeties play zone, everyone else is in man coverage. There are 2 simple indicators that the defense is in cover 2 man. Corners playing right on the line of scrimmage is one such indicator. If they are further back, you can put a wide receiver in motion and see if the defender follows. If so, that means it's probably man coverage. If not, you are likely facing zone. Cover 2 leaves a lot of area for the safeties to cover. Attacking the deep sidelines with corner routes or deep middle with post routes can be tough to stop, especially if you have another route in the same area to help draw attention away, like a deep post on the outside with a streak running next to it. Cover 2 man can be harder to beat deep since the corner is running with the receiver and has help from the safety over the top. It's better to focus on shaking the defenders in man coverage with a slant or a zig, or exploiting the deep center of the field with a tight end running a post. Cover 4 divides the field into 4 quarters, and is good at limiting vertical plays thanks to the 4 deep zones. Committing that many bodies deep means there are fewer defenders in the mid to shallow areas, and horizontal routes, like drags and crosses, are good at exploiting this, especially if you have fast receivers. There are other ways the defense can make things difficult. There are hybrid formations like cover 6 and cover 9 that combine elements from other coverages. The defense can also use coverage shells to line up like they are in one coverage, such as cover 2, but actually run another, like cover 3. They can also call a defensive audible, changing their play call on the field. That's the chess match of football. For more must-have tips for College Football 25, be sure to check out our full list of mental and physical abilities and our College Football 25 wiki. For everything else, stick with IGN.